So which ones are going to make you go faster? Good question. The black new shoes or the white old shoes? Black new shoes, old white new shoes, old white new shoes, old white shoes. Hey everybody, Big Mike on the mic coming at you live, the unofficial TMWC. That's what'll make you go faster, those legs, not the shoes. But what shoes will I choose? Anyways, my knees, I've got a right knee problem because of a strained and sore IT band, and pretty much took the whole week off as a result, but going to give it a go this morning. So here's what it looks like in the morning. It be dark, very dark at 4:45 or so in the morning, which means you got to have your coffee. So I've got my mocha maker going there and making myself a grand old big cup of coffee with some butter. Classic TMWC. Butter in your coffee. Don't knock it till you try it. Yeah, don't knock it till you try it. So you mix up your butter and your coffee in a mixer there, and it is delicious. So you can get ready to get those shoes on, get those laces put away proper, get everything squared away. Get them legs ready to roll. Get your nice long stretch in. And of course, you got to go old school and cue up your punk rock music. So we got some TMWC rollout with Bob there, and we're approaching the start at Oak Tree. At first I thought there was hardly anybody here, but looks can be deceiving. Turns out quite a few people were already here, and many thanks to Todd and Pedal Industries.
Mikey! Hey! Oh, hey! Pasta! Video. Video. I'm gonna do.
Yep, over on the other table. What up, Mike?
Hello.
How are
Good
you?
morning. Look at you helping out. Thank you.
Absolutely.
KOHN.
Yes, there we go. Just
What? I'm
nice.
not under Big Mike. What's going on here? Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you,
we're
ladies.
already videoing.
Right on. TMWC. You got it. And action. Well, Tim, I expect you to keep me honest, at least on Antonio. So I'll be expecting you to not let the bricks get away. My plan is to suck wheel as much as possible. And all these young fast guys, man, holy cow! I need a Todd interview. Thank you for putting this on, Todd.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's the lot.
Are you gonna point it? Are you filming?
No, I'm filming. I'm videoing. Well, hey, bro. Hook up. Gonna cut that ponytail, though.
Yeah.
Blow some snot. Morning. There's the guy who inspired me to buy the Mad One.
Hey.
Mad one, man.
You ride it better than me, brother. So.
Too, man. That was on my list. You always got the new SRAM on there, too. Sweet.
I like that new shred. That's awesome.
Is it on your bike?
No.
No, but I like it.
Hey.
Nice. Look at that pretty bike, too. Woo, look at all the pretty bikes. Look at this bike.
Would be affected by
That's sweet.
Thank you.
So yeah, all kinds of pretty bikes out there. And you know, this is a bit probably one of my longest videos here. Hey, hooray! The pink socks are no longer. But you know, this really has turned into an event. So I'm trying to get as many people on camera as I can, and put the action in here. As well, at least as I saw it from my view, and my bike and my camera. But Todd here is getting ready to give the briefing. I want to say there were probably a good 70 or 80 folks out, so that was a good number. So in this briefing, really kind of Todd has 3 rules. I'll probably screw them up. It's have fun, obey the rules, and get to know somebody new. So introduce yourself to someone new on the TMWC ride. Yeah, so that's me stretching. That's my stretch. It's just kind of a cool view. And yeah, I did the stretching there with with my excuse knee. I'll try not to mention it very often. So yeah, we're off to the races. It's the usual, little bit of chaos there in the beginning, and people are fighting for position, and we were neutral all the way to the next light at Meandering Trails, where this ride used to start. So you can see pretty big group, and I was somewhat targeting this race. So we got a bunch of fast guys here that I'm passing the fast guys. I'm only doing it because I wanted to get as many people on camera as possible, and apologies if I mess up names during this entire ride. This guy's interesting, that little kind of camo-ish oranges thing. I think his name is Eric. He'll feature later. So we're just on the rollout here, and there's my pink socks with no pink socks. And really, I did want to do there's always got to be one guy in the group, huh? I think that's Mr. Jim Bishop there. And no, that's not the finish, Jim. If that's you, Jim, which I think it is. There's always one wise guy in the group. Yeah. So we were racing. So, we were racing. There was one guy that went off the front early, and I think he wasn't sure which way to go, and that probably ruined his race. He was a very strong rider. I think his name was Andy. So here's something that's kind of not what to do here in race conditions. So as we're coming off the trail and bombing the turn onto Rancho Santa Margarita, I'm just going through clips here, a gap gets let open. And you don't want a gap to open when you're going this fast, because it is hard to close a gap when the speeds are, what's the speed there? 40 miles an hour. So I'm a big guy. It's a downhill. These guys aren't closing the gap. And I've got to throw down some big watts to get into this group, which has some very fast guys in front of it. So again, in race conditions like this, you want to stay towards the front. You want to know who is up at the front, and really what kind of shape those guys are in. Are they legit guys that are up there? And those guys up there are all legit, and they could have ridden away from me and a bunch of guys that are behind me, and I'm not actually getting any help here. Which, hey, that's bike racing. It's kind of on my shoulders to close the gap, and that's what I'm doing. And some people are getting a free ride off of Big Mike and the giant draft that I give. So here I am coming up on, I know who this guy is. These are the best calves in the peloton. Let me see if I can give him a hard time. There you go, John. There, feature your calves there. The best calves in the peloton. So anyways, I managed to bridge back to this group. So I'm pretty fit, except, you only have so many matches to burn. So here's where the throwdown's going to happen and the race is really going to be made. So we're making the turn onto El Toro, and then we're going from El Toro and transitioning onto the trail. And it's a bit dangerous here. And, I in retrospect, I could have stopped here and waited. But hey, we're racing, so I want to stay up here towards the front, and I want to take opportunities as I can. So I managed to squeeze through here. So there are a group of some fairly legitimate guys here. Also, Jorge, Todd Brown, Emilio, and one or two other guys who I'm sure I will not get their names correctly. So we kind of go hard here a little bit, but my thought was, since we had squeaked through there, that we were probably going to slow down and let them catch up to us. And indeed, that is pretty much what we ended up doing. You can see the watts go down there, and we let the group pretty much get back on. I'm on Bob's wheel here again, and just some pretty footage of the morning. It was a really pretty morning, and you can see from the kind of how the sun and some of the foggy conditions are somewhat lifting here. I thought also right here as we go under the toll road, I thought Emilio might throw down, but very crafty, very legit rider here, Emilio. And you can see some guys launching off the front. So essentially, El Toro all the way up to the top of Live Oak is where this race is being made. So the selection is being made here along this stretch of road. And then, of course, the Trump up Live Oak. So I'm just cutting forward here a bit to just give you a feel for, again, race conditions. All these guys and all the guys in this group are, fairly fit and, are legitimately and rightly so on the front here. And you can see we're going pretty good and not really bumping elbows so much and shoulders, but, just some good, healthy competition going on here. And it's a very decent pace. I did PR the El Toro to the top of Live Oak, which is really not a super spectacular time as times go, but again, given my size and age, I'm pretty happy with that. But you're going to see where I'm going to feature here where the race is made. I've got Bob here on my right. I got Monty on my left. There's another crafty rider. This guy, if he actually rode consistently, he would be a real force. But he actually does not ride all that much. And hey, Monty, special thanks, man. You came up with some good prizes for the race today, and that is much, much appreciated. So thank you, Monty, at Two Hubs there. And I'm sure Todd and I'm sure everybody that participated thanks you as well. So well done. And of course, Monty comes by me at the very end of the race for fourth place. I ended up fifth in my age group. I think I could have gotten third. So note to you guys, if you're racing, race to the end. I pretty much rode this in when I probably should not have. but hey, what are you gonna do? So things are going pretty good. You can look at my watts and my heart rate and the speed and cadence, and we're again, the selection is definitely being made. It's getting fairly strung out. Some guys are falling off the back, and this is where you need this idea of having good functional threshold power. This climb, I believe, from the trail to the top for me was 12. It's under 13 minutes for me. For the super fast guys, right at 12 minutes, maybe a little bit, 12 minutes and a little bit of change. I'm just under 13 minutes here on this climb. And you just have to have, there's basically no, you just have to have the ability to maintain this kind of power for that length of time. If you don't have that power to weight ratio, right, for that 12 minutes or 13 minutes, you will end up going out the back. So you're going to see a little bit what that looks like here. I was on a pretty good day, and I'm not making any excuses here for where, boy, that's a cool picture. Sorry, let me admire this as we come up to the tunnel. So everybody right here is got pretty good threshold power. There's Justin. This guy right here, I think his name is Eric. Really have not ridden with him or seen him before, but very strong. Justin, very strong. Jorge is 3 bikes up, very strong. But you're going to see right here after this little dip, a gap opens up. And again, if you don't have not only the threshold power, but some extra juice to get back on when there is a gap, you're going to have a hard time doing that. So we're going to blame Monty. Monty let that gap open. You can see Jorge, I could just see him get on it and try to get back up there, but he's going to run out of juice. And I'm going to go by my good friend Jorge, and I'm essentially surfing wheels. So I got Justin in front of me and this guy Eric. I've got Todd up here. I believe that's Todd. Todd starts hurting a little bit, and there's Todd's buddy Andy, I think, who went in a break early and took a wrong turn. Anyways, we picked him back up again. Dude, very strong, probably rode off the front for quite some time, and let's just say through no fault of his own. Did some
extra yardage. So, but good spinner, good technique, good spinner. So I'm noticing though a gap opening up, so I've got to get on it a bit and get up here to Justin and this guy who I did not know, which I believe his name is Eric. Somebody correct me, somebody tag him, and find me on Strava and follow me. So some cool pictures here. So, but you can see if you happen to look in front of us, you see the three of us, I do believe, had we been able to close that gap or been there when the gap opened, would have been able to stay with that lead group. And it turns out we just could not. So that gap gets bigger, and neither Justin nor I have the ability to help this guy who's in front of us, who is stronger than us, because he ain't got nobody to draft on. And Justin is drafting on him, and I'm drafting on Justin. So the race is essentially over at this point for me and those behind me, because you're really not going to close a gap at this point. Going up a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9% grade with the class of riders that are in front of us, and you're really not going to catch them on the downhill. And by that I mean there are too many guys going downhill fast for 3 guys like us. There may be a guy or two behind me, I honestly don't know, to catch them. They'll be able to draft more efficiently than we will be able to trade pools on the downhill. Here's another strong guy. I think this guy's from Utah. Very strong. He also came around me at the end. Darn it. Well, drats. So back to my point here again, and again, just spectacular, I think, just beautiful footage here of us going up Live Oak. I don't think I'd keep the camera rolling all the way up Live Oak here, but Justin was very strong, and this guy in front of us was also very strong. But we simply missed the move. I'll blame Monty, I'll blame Jorge, I'll blame Todd, I'll blame Todd's friend. No, there's no one to blame but yourself when you miss a move on a race. You need to be tactically sound and positioned with the lead guys so you do not allow gaps to open up. And, the truth is you can't necessarily cover all moves, but you've got to be in the right place at the right time, and the race is going to be made on that El Toro Trail and up Live Oak. It's going to be won on the corkscrew and on the drag strip, but the race is going to be made essentially on this stretch of road. So I'm surfing Justin's wheel here. I think I actually come around him towards the end of the climb. This other guy, though, did gap the both of us. And what we ended up doing was actually catching him fairly quickly on the downhill portion. And I think I allowed some additional video to roll for that. So I'll just let this video roll. And we're getting towards the top of the climb here, and the grade goes up, and it just gets hard. Bike riding is hard. I did not PR going up Live Oak. I think I went up Live Oak today in 4:30, which is a decent time. But the guys that made the selection, they're a good 20 seconds. You can just see them cresting the top, 20 seconds ahead. Yeah, so no use showing the downhill footage, kind of rather boring here. Here's pretty much where I'm just resigned to riding it in. We're going okay here, again, the three of us, but we do get caught, and I do get passed by a couple guys at the very end. But it's kind of boring footage, and who wants to see me get passed? So we're still trying here, but I'm just essentially riding wheels at this point, and rolling it in. So very cool stuff. All right, so I'm gonna move this on towards the finale and let some of the festivities begin.
How was it?
It's good, fun, hard,
Right.
lonely.
Lonely, Bob.
It's only a social ride.
It's only a social ride. What's up, TMWC? What do you say? What do you say, skinny fast guys?
Hey, not skinny enough today.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Guys.
Tell me about it. What are the after action comments?
That was a hard last 20
It's a
minutes.
social ride.
Yeah, it's just a social ride.
I mean, yeah, it's just social. No big deal.
Socially that you don't imagine.
Zone 2.
Zone 2. Yeah. Look at this guy, 97. Nice job. Didn't even see you out there.
Oh man, fun
Because
stuff.
you were in front of me.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Great time out
Social
there.
ride, John. Social ride. Best calves. see. Yeah.
Those are the best calves in the peloton.
Nice job there, Justin. Well done, man. Nice and skinny. What do you say? What do you say, fellas? Mark, Eric. Oh, hey, Eric. How was the spin?
Spin to win.
Social spin.
Social.
Got your climbers. Got your climbers hat on. Yeah. Nice job. Well done, boys. Well done. How'd it feel?
I ripped off following you, man. You're amazing.
Oh gosh.
I've never seen that. Wait, Mike, did you get that on camera?
Most of it.
Oh, the guy driving by with his gas tank? Or
Oh,
gas?
I didn't know if I saw that or not. Pete, well done, man. Way to get out there and kill it.
So yeah, fade into the rising sun. So this has really become quite the event, and I made some new friends out there for sure. Thanks to all the volunteers, thanks to Todd, thanks to everybody that donated prizes and prize money. Much appreciated. And yeah, you know, what can I say? Big Mike on the mic signing off. Get out there and enjoy it. Right on.